Hello, this is Mr. Buffington, and we are solving equations that have steps on both sides, or things that you need to do on both sides of the equal sign. We're going to look at solving equations, and then we're going to do a little bit of practice. And then we're going to do a little bit of practice, and practice, and practice, and practice, and practice. We need to make sure to do lots of practice with this type of question. Let's do it! When I'm given an equation like this, x plus 4 equals 7 minus 3. The first thing that I do is that I simplify. I try and simplify this equation so that I join together everything that can be joined together to make it as simple as an equation as it can be. So first off, I'm going to solve the right side of this equation. I'm going to do 7 minus 3, which equals 4. I can join those together without shifting anything else, without making any other changes. Now I just have a simple addition equation that I can solve using the steps from our previous lesson. I find my variable. It's right there. It's the x. I ask myself what happened to x, or what is connected to x. It's connected with plus 4, so I'm going to do the opposite to both sides of the equation. In other words, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides of this equation. Then it will look like this. X plus 4 minus 4 on the left, and 4 minus 4 on the right. Plus 4 minus 4 cancel each other out, and I'm left with x by itself on the left, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So if you put 0 into the equation at the beginning, 0 plus 4 is equal to 7 minus 3. Let's do another one here. 5 plus a equals 14 plus 20. This is a question for you to solve on your own, so go ahead and pause the recording, follow the steps listed over there on the left, and solve this equation. Welcome back. The first thing I do is to simplify. 14 plus 20 is 34. Now I'm going to solve using the steps that are listed on the left. Where is my variable? A is my variable. What is connected to a, or what happened to a? Plus 5. So to get rid of the plus 5, I am going to subtract 5 from both sides of this equation. That gives me a by itself on the left, because 5 minus 5 is 0. And 34 minus 5 leaves me with 29. So a is equal to 29. In other words, 5 plus 29 equals 14 plus 20. Here's another one. This one looks more complicated. You definitely need to follow the steps on it. Pause the recording and try and solve this one on your own. Welcome back. Did you solve it? If you didn't, you're cheating. Alright, my first step is to simplify. 15.2 minus 7.4 gives me 7.8. Again, I always simplify whatever I can in an equation to make sure that it is, as simple as can be moving forward. Now, find my variable. X is my variable. What happened to x, or what is connected to x? Plus 9.2. See, it's x plus 9.2. So I'm going to do the opposite of plus 9.2 on both sides of this equation. In other words, I'm going to subtract 9.2. On the left side of the equation, you see it says x plus 9.2 minus 9.2. Those will cancel each other out, leaving x by itself on the left. 7.8 minus 9.2 leaves us with negative 1.4. So x is equal to negative 1.4. We have to remember the rules for subtracting integers. We need to remember rules for decimals. We need to remember a lot of rules as we're going through this. But if you follow those same rules, it'll be fine. Try one more. I want you to, again, pause the recording. I told you there's lots of practice in this one. Pause that recording and try to do this one on your own. Welcome back. 24 plus 5 is 29. That's what I'm going to do. Simplify the left side or the right side of this equation. Now I'm going to solve. What is my variable? X is my variable. What is connected to x, or what happened to it? I have minus 62. So I'm going to do the opposite on both sides. I'm going to add 62 to both sides of this equation. That keeps it balanced, right? Keeping that plus 62 on both sides. It cancels out on the left, leaving me with x, and 29 plus 62 gives me 91. X is equal to 91. Even more practice. Pause the recording. Try this one on your own. Hey, welcome back. Did you join together negative 14 plus 2.8? I hope so. Simplifying over there, remembering that when you are adding integers that have different signs, you find the difference and then keep the sign of the larger absolute value or the larger number. So I have x minus 13 equals negative 11.2. I find my variable x. I ask myself what is connected to x, and that is minus 13. That's what happened to x. We subtracted 13 from it. So I'm going to do the opposite. In other words, I'm going to add 13 to both sides of this equation. Negative 13 plus 13 gives me 0. So x is left by itself on the left side of the equation, and negative 11.2 plus 13 gives me positive 1.8. That is how I would solve this. The equations are getting more complicated as we add in multiple steps, but if you keep following the same steps, you'll do great. Couple of tips. 1. Practice the integer rules for multiplication and for addition and subtraction. You're going to want to keep those separate in your mind. Multiplication and division are one set of rules. Addition and subtraction are on the other side. And then after you practice those rules, practice, 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 practice. Hope that lesson was helpful for you. Have a wonderful day.